Yo, YouTube is Anarchies of Darkness, also known as Sir Killington of Colorstruck, and I am back, hopefully. Probably going to change the name from Sir Killington of Colorstruck because I haven't had a fucking new subscriber since they told me that I wasn't advertiser friendly. But yet, they allow white supremacists to flourish, and they've done it for a damn near a decade. Anyway, on to the subject of this video. The subject of this video is simple. There needs to be a study done on trauma caused by social media. The reason I'm talking about this is because within the last week or so, I've realized that YouTube has traumatized me. Oh, how could they have traumatized you? You're on their platform talking about them. Well, history lesson. I've been on YouTube since 2006. I started making videos 2007. Since then, I've had 2 accounts ripped away from me after I built them up to 1,000. This account got shadow banned into oblivion once the advertising stuff started, and being able to monetize. Because at one point I was able to monetize, but I got a letter from YouTube when I went into like YouTube Studio. There was this whole thing about your content is not advertiser friendly. It was something along those lines. That was the basis of what they were saying. I talk about fucking racism and colorism and more recently homophobia and sexism and transphobia and things of that nature. Because those are things that need to be talked about in society, because those are things that affect people and they should be spoken about. And the only way to do that is to speak on them. So I didn't really care about the money, but like you telling me I can't make money when there are literal white supremacists on your front page, you're racist. Anyway, I've had accounts ripped away from me. 3 accounts over 1,000. This account, including, again, this account has just been losing subscribers since I gotten back on it. And it's never gained a subscriber for like years. So I guess I've had accounts ripped away from me, and I realized recently that I have trauma from it. All the stuff I used to love to do on YouTube, like the dubbing, people call it a bridge now. I have totally quit doing that. You would think that it was because I outgrew it. No, because some of my favorite people to still watch do those things. I loved doing that shit until I built something that got taken away from me with YouTube. And it got to the point where I stopped putting effort into my videos. I stopped wanting to do editing. I was like, hey, we're just going to hit play and we're all going to record and we're not going to do anything creative. We're just going to talk over the cartoon and hope the stuff we say sticks. And this is like years ago. And I just stopped doing it, even though I love doing it. And talking about colorism, I got harassed here a few times after I got married to my wife, Austin. Oh, wait until you find out what has happened since me and my wife. I got harassed. I used to talk about colorism here, and then the moment I married my wife, Austin, who is a very clearly black woman, just happened to have light skin, I was told I couldn't talk about colorism anymore because I married a light-skinned woman and I'm adding to colorism. There needs to be a serious study done about the trauma that these platforms can cause in people in their brains. I just got over a nosebleed. I did this video 3 times already, and I just decided I had to cut it down because I got ADD and I'd be all over the place. I totally forgot what I was talking about. Yeah, a study needs to be done because we all know about bullying. We all know about bullying, like what they call it, internet bullies and stuff like that. We know that exists. We know the effect it can have on children. We know there have been kids who've unalived themselves because of bullies on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and places like that. We know that exists. And that has to be studied, and I'm pretty sure it is being studied. But there should also be a study on people who've had essentially trauma caused by like platforms having power over them, essentially. Part of the reason why I don't make videos here is because of that. I didn't want to do videos on TikTok, and I was coerced into doing videos on TikTok, and the same thing is happening over there that was happening to me on YouTube years ago, where I was harassed and my entire accounts had gotten like flagged and banned and stuff like that because people don't like what I say about a fucking cartoon. A fucking cartoon. And I'm telling the truth about said cartoon. One Piece has blackface in it. That caused people to flag my account to the point where they were considering deleting the account. I had to go on private for like 3 months to stop people from doing it. And it happened to my second account, which also caught up to my other account. I got 35,000 subscribers or likes over, not likes, followers over on both of my accounts, 30 on both of my accounts. And I've realized that dealing with the people on that platform, I am traumatized because I don't like reading comments. I don't like having the conversations. Like I used to like have conversations here on YouTube in the comments. I used to like having conversations here. I don't like having conversations there. It feels like you're speaking to people who just want to, what they call it, gaslight you. Now, like people just, their whole gimmick is trolling and gaslighting you. So, oh God, it's being on that platform, which I'm leaving, is part of the reason why I'm doing this video. That platform needs, I had to leave it because you guys know my first account on this thing, I used to make people laugh. It was a comedian account. This account was my active account, my activism account, because I had to switch them. I had to separate the two because, you know, people who want to see my doves don't want to hear me talk about colorism. Most of them didn't even know what colorism was. So I separated my accounts, and just like over on TikTok, I got 1,000 over there, and at some point I got 1,000 over here. And this one actually exceeded the first account, but that account only really died because I wasn't allowed to do my dubs and do the content that my fans wanted me to do. I couldn't do it anymore because YouTube was anytime I uploaded, deleted, copyright strike. And this is before they were allowing you to put stuff up and allowing a company to claim that content. This is before. And that account just died. And this account is also pretty much dead. But I'm coming back to here to see if I can revive this account, maybe even my Anarchist account. But even though I don't even know what I'm going to do on that account other than make parody songs with Lorenzo. I just think that there needs to be a study done because I really feel like they're affecting people's mental health because it has affected mine. Like, and it doesn't matter what I do. All the positive stuff I do, like I have a comic book now. I wrote 2 novels, technically 3 novels. My 4th one is being edited right now. I got 1 comic book, another one in production that is based on the novel. And I've done all this stuff. I advertise that on TikTok and it gets nowhere. But the moment I see something like racist and I call it out, that becomes, that gets 20,000 views. The moment I call someone out or I become confrontational, or talk about someone everybody loves. I think I talked about Kevin, what was his name? Kevin Samuels once. That got a lot of attention. I talked about recently Corey Kenshin and his problems with racism. I talked about a lot of stuff on TikTok, and the only stuff that gets any fucking love is the stuff that ends up being more on the negative side, or the activism side. But when I'm trying to talk about my comic book, I'm trying to show you my drawings, I'm doing all that stuff, that gets no attention. And it was like being here on YouTube. So I was like, I'd rather just go back to YouTube where I earn every view, opposed to coming here, going on YouTube where they have this system where like they drop your video into a pool and decide whether your video ain't shit or not. I would rather just be here and deal with talking into a void than having to change who I am. Like, I like making people laugh. care about the activism, obviously, but I like people making people laugh as well. I like making people feel good. I like telling stories. I like that stuff. But TikTok isn't a good ground for, is not a good not a battleground, but it's not a good platform for me to do that, because I always feel like the stuff I care about gets ignored, and the stuff I also do care about, but that's like confrontational, that shit gets all the attention, and it's draining. It's like, stop being a creator, you know, a fantasy creator, you know, stop making representation and start, you know, being Malcolm X. I love being Malcolm X now, but the reason why, again, I have 2 different channels is because those 2 things need to be separate. I want to make you laugh separately from the activism stuff when we're having a conversation. And even sometimes I try to make you laugh when, y'all remember my intros and my cuts, my jump cuts and all the shit I used to do, if you remember. Yeah, I like to make you laugh, but it's like, TikTok has turned me into a person that I don't like. So I'm coming back to YouTube to talk into a void. Yeah, that's the video. I went on a fucking rant, and I know nobody's gonna watch this shit, but fuck, I had to say something. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification thing. Apparently that shit don't even really work. Yeah, fucking share the video. If you remember me from before and you had a little, you know, share it with your friends, you know, because we really do need to talk about, like, dead ass, like, talk about how trauma filled these places are. We talk about social media being toxic all the time, but we don't talk about the trauma that it caused. Like, I don't want to do none of the stuff I love anymore because of how social media is fucking set up. I can be harassed just for being me.